Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off it an exciting 1 vs 1 on the road to Kharkov. The setting is, well, Holland 1944 Operation Market Garden is in full swing. The British Army with the 30th Armour Corps is rolling ahead towards Arnhem, and they are definitely not going to try and stop as much as possible. Maybe they will. Anyways, in the south we got Rzuna fighting here for King Country, the Commonwealth, the Guards Armour Division. Versus in the north we got Angreifen fighting here for Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role of the 107th Panzer Brigade, ready to blunt the British spearhead and preferably break it off and shove it right up the British arse. Here with Mechanized Assault Mobile Defense and Jaeger Armour here for Angreifen with Pack and Infantry Bulletins versus Royal Artillery, Royal Engineer and Commando Regiment here for Rzuna with double infantry and one Firefly Bulletin. He's going for a triple section start, aiming heavily here to move across the many roads and advance to favourable position versus the Hun. Alright chaps, if you see anything looking remotely German, what about Dutch? Shut up. Anything remotely German, you shoot it. What about the Dutch? Shut up about the Dutch. But they look kinda German. Just shut up. Third section moving up the east, grabbing the west point here. You can see, I mean, this is actually a very aggressive setup. I mean, sort of has the ability to slow down that Angreifen theory, but also just gives us some idea there of Angreifen is moving. MD42 covering up here, might even just making a bit paranoid because seeing sudden activity here, this close to here, could also force Angreifen to more consider like, is there something going to be happening here? Now he's leaving the machine gun to cover up, but the flank here for example is exposed though. In this case moves into the house, which is actually going to have a pretty good position with machine guns since several of the crew members actually exposed, not in heavy cover. Well, they are in heavy cover in some ways, but only from certain angles. Remember, heavy cover is directional, meaning if you're not directly behind it, it's not going to matter. In this regard, you can always just ask yourself, on what side of piece of that cover would I want to be on during a firefight? Which basically means either you figure it out very fast, or you'd be dead in a firefight. Anyways, triple section still here for Rzuna. Got a very fast take up here though. Angreifen with double gun it is. MD42 so far. Section doing good damage, being held down by the MD42, but at the same time tying down the MD42. Could set up for a flank through here, or a flank possibly for, in this case, falls back as the section takes a minor loss. Decides this is not going to do much more good for him. And he's got a section moving up against the Grenadiers. With the third Grenadier squad there for Angreifen. Sandbags opting provided to help defend the munitions point with a bit of barbed wire on top. On the engagement, that's going to be in favour for the section. Triple sections here, firing only against two Grenadiers. Plus, of course, they get bonuses in their buildings. Oh, this is just, you know, straightforward engagement for Rzuna. It's basically just a matter of time, really. In which case, if Angreifen just stalled for long enough, in theory, bring up something else, he could do something with it. But in this case, falls back. Sandbags by the victory point. Looks like the main effort is still happening in the west. Rzuna is using one section to tie up Angreifen. There's the other section just does some other things. We got a sniper start here for early sniper Rzuna, not a sniper start. Can't really do that as the Brits. Theoretically, I suppose in some ways you could, but it'd be really dumb. So sniper more here for Rzuna. Second on a flank up in the Grenadiers. Very good, very good. Though theoretically could also go up for his flank, but instead we got Angreifen flank up for the west here. Not bad, not bad. Section to tie up the Germans here in the east. We got medkits up there, and we got the sniper out there for Rzuna. A fourth Grenadier squad there for Angreifen for Deutschland. As the 107th Panzer Brigade brings up more troops to slow down the British advance, probably pulling on other units nearby. Up here, section taking fire from the Pioneers, Grenadiers as well there. Rzuna getting a bit bolder here, could possibly backfire on him, though if he researches grenades and says one ready, it could work out. But I don't think he's researching grenades, in fact he is not. So there you go, Pioneers guns down wing the section, forcing it back. Rzuna's gambit, it did not pay off. Sniper though arriving on the field there with his large anti-tank rifle, so I was following up there for Rzuna. Shots being fired back and forth here. More Grenadiers arriving to the battlefield for the fatherland. Grenadiers down to 3 men. Sappers halfway done. Angreifen seems to have not teched up yet. Could be planning even more units, so heavy tier 1 into tier 3 maybe. There we go, Sappers out for Rzuna. Section needs to fall back, about to get wiped out here by Angreifen. Sniper gets a good hit, but the MD42 is having a bit of an impact there alongside the Grenadiers. And overall, this situation, that machine gun is not necessarily something Rzuna can maintain. There's just simply too much pressure there from Angreifen. Too much firepower. In the fire, he's also making good progress. He's also laying down mines here to thwart any sort of attempt at harassment there by Rzuna. Very nice work here. Sniper falling back very rapidly. Section trying to stall here. I mean, it's clearly not anticipating him to sort of do much for long, but he's basically figuring he can sort of just buy himself some time. Maybe get a single extra kill before treating the section there. Angreifen responding to the enemy sniper, going for a snipe of his own. And there he goes, section forced to retreat again. Bought a bit of time, maybe. That's about it. Sapper's going to use his section all joining in because he's going to do something tied up. But the Sapper's also close to death, and of course got the Pioneers retreating after they laid down a sizable S-mine field. And Angreifen tends to be one of those few players who really just sort of puts effort into using S-mines if he can get away with it, which is certainly one reason he's always interesting to watch. Particularly after he begins laying down. He doesn't always, but he tends to be more consistent with it, and he tends to be, in that sense, more aggressive with it once it gets around to it. Like, for example, he just a sizable S-mine field. But hitting the field point there, he is not letting up here against Rzuna. He is still not taking up, though. We got a medic bunker there being ducked down. They're going to need to have seen quite some action. They're going to need some support. We got the 6 point for the cutoff point. Sniper ready here behind a tree, and there you go. Gets a kill. Angreifen also displaying, you know, that good idea about not just trying to wait to counter the other bastard sniper, just get the sniper in, then begin bleeding away at the other bastards. Going to use the repulse. The field point there has been under neutral. That's going to slow down our Rzuna's attack. But we can see that by going for the cutoff point, though, he is doing the same to Angreifen, though. Except these 2 points connect. So he actually needs to hit another point, needs to get this point. Of course, he's going to need Minesweeper to do that. We got the AC Mark III on the way there for Rzuna. Fun fact, the AC was a heavy armoured car that was actually using parts from heavy tanks, specifically the Matilda and the Valentine tanks. It was lastly, I think, the heaviest armoured car of the war. Fun little fact there. Canadians moving about, section that ground the fuel point, hitting the centre victory point. There we go, cutting him off from the fuel now. Very good, very good. Rzuna here, very quick to turn the tables around there and Angreifen. Very good. And there we go, got the AC Mark III out, and other side that's yet to commit to a doctrine. The AC in BIO stands for Associated Equipment Company, and was basically one of many companies during World War II for the British that just sort of ended up making armoured cars or something else. I think there was even like a bus company that ended up doing something. So, little fun fact there. Little fun fact. Grenadier sending out Sabs there at the ready. Moving in there to ensure the section does not get wiped on retreat by the S-mines. Very swift save there by Rzuna. And there goes he moving up. How will Angreifen respond to this? He's actually got the tech up now, but we'll go for the Pack 40. We'll try and install for mobile defense and Pumas. Stugis, that would be a bizarre one, but he could do it. Or he could go for Jaeger, maybe a half tank, then laying down Regal mines. This machine gun moving up needs own. That's pretty ambitious there, but Angreifen could backfire on it. I mean, one wrong move and that machine gun could get wiped and stolen by Rzuna. Claimed by the Commonwealth. In the east, there's Sabba's push back. There's to try to clear out the minefield. Double Grenadier step proved to be quite an obstacle, and the AC can't quite deal with that on his own. In the west here, we got the section moving up. Sniper there hiding about. He's trying to locate that German sniper who's actually busy grabbing the northern fuel point back. Grenadier going for an aggressive flank from Angreifen. Very nice, very nice. Both players here playing it very boldly against the other. So they're not something you see too often. The sniper moving about there. Got the cutoff point again. Very consistent harassment. And similarly again, Angreifen goes for his opponent's cutoff point. Clearly these are two players who are experienced in the art of aggressive warfare and the art of flanking, which is nice to see. Bolter section up there for Rzuna, increasing their firepower and overall durability. A nice upgrade there for him. In this case, the Angreifen's flank didn't quite work out here. Probably didn't expect the bolter section to arrive like that. Up north here, snipers continue to wait about for the German one to arrive. Good lord, where's that German bastard? I've got to stick to schedule, so I can get some tea and biscuits. He's careful doesn't get spotted himself, but there you go, sniper moving about. He's not expecting, I think, a sniper out this aggressively. Does Rzuna see it? Does he see it? Ah! No, he doesn't. Oh, God, he missed the opportunity. No, no. Oh. Ah. Oh, no, the sniper's going to run into the end. Oh, hello there. Ah, guten Tag. Hey, wait. Oh, shit. Pew, in the end. I mean, this is why you have to also be careful about doing these sort of stunts there, because it basically means in this situation, if you're not paying attention, you can't get punished like this. This is like Benny Hill, except lethal. And the Germans end up laughing. Got grenades out here for Rzuna, not a bad upgrade at all. Both the sections tend to benefit from that a lot, but that sniper exchange. Again, always be careful about ambush units when you're sitting not too far ahead. If you're not paying attention, you will get punished. It applies to snipers, ambushed machine guns, ambushed infantry units, commandos, stormtroopers, you name it. Like, you gotta be a bit more mindful about when you do stuff like that. Kharkov once more defend it, grenade off. Pushing back the grenadiers. And we got an MG42 which actually was stones right here. Angreifen did lose the machine gun because he did extend it without infantry support. Definitely not a good move there. Sniper there being pushed through again by the British, but escapes once more. But the point is again exposed here. Back in Angreifen's base, we've got another machine gun on the way there. Not much from the lighter mechanized company except the Pack 40 and Panzer Grenadier, which could be useful if there's all these sections. Mine's being let down in the car point, right in front of the hand. Pack 40 shoots, hoping to dissuade them. And Rzuna is just pushing very hard. He's extending the front line as far as possible. Very nice in some ways. Those of course have its own risks if he's not careful, but still can put some pressure on Angreifen and make him uncomfortable. Maybe increase the chance if Angreifen makes mistakes because of the pressure that Rzuna is inflicting on him. So there you go, Gunnison being suppressed, cut to ribbons. But we got the sniper here ready to assist. But overall here, Rzuna is completely rolling up the entire front line here versus Angreifen. The 107th Panzer Brigade is forced to fall back. Back here, nothing further going on for Rzuna further. No immediate tech up, no doctrine. Angreifen, though, is not really going for much either. No tech up either there. And neither side has yet to commit to a doctrine. At this rate, I expect Angreifen to make himself a mobile defense in the Pumas, though he has shown himself recently as a chap who does also like to just spam Stugis, though he does tend to go for mechanized assault as a first priority then. But now we can see Rzuna and the Guards armor has made excellent progress along the road and has now gained control of most of it. And are very much keen on also mining most of it. So we can see they did it a bit opposite in this situation. Much was already there. Quick grenade, Mills bomb. Still not much there from Angreifen. Back here reinforcing the machine gun give out. And we got the gunners advancing straight for the point here, but they are taking heavy fire from the Tommies. We've got a second gunners flanking up here as well, taking heavy fire from the section as well. There's a quick switch to the windows there. Sharp rifle fire there, inflicting harm upon the Germans. Grief, this bodily harm. Kharkov reclaimed, but so much else has been lost to the hand. Pioneers moving out of Nerben, getting shredded here in the south. We got the Gunners slowly advancing with the machine gun spotting outside the house as well. And there we go. It does end up with mobile defensive for Angreifen. Puma supported. Though the Panzer Brigade would not have access to Pumas itself, maybe got access from somewhere else. In fact, Panzer Brigades did not have any reconnaissance vehicles at all, as a fun fact. That's not how they're designed. But, you know, details. Probably could have picked it up from somewhere else. Who knows? Oh, wait, Puma sending out there for Angreifen. For Germany, ready to take on the AC Mark III. Quick grenade against MG42. Oh! Nice hit. They're almost wiping out Angreifen's MG42 in time. There you go. Puma moving in. Section needs to fall back fast. Needs to cover up retreat. Puma there could have a small chance of getting wiped, particularly the longer he sticks inside the house, the more machine gun fire on it. Other machine gun here. Sadly does not have the experience with the incendiary arm. Nice, that could have helped a bit versus the Puma. But he is actually getting close. There you go. He can pop it now, and he does pop it. In this case, it's already a bit too late. Angreifen's already bypassing the MG42. Oh, then he moves in front of it, and then moves back behind it. We can see that he's actually committing very aggressively to Pumas now, committing to a second one pretty fast there. Smoke screen popped, allowing the Puma there to fall back. And there you go, incendiary pistol rounds, almost taking out the Puma there. Close call there for Angreifen and the schwerer Panzer B-Wagen. Meanwhile, the Rzuna is maintaining absolutely incredibly tight control of the battlefield. He's still not taking up, but he's still not pushing for medium armors despite having a huge advantage to do so. That's definitely not good there by Rzuna. I can understand, of course, he's focused on the front line quite a lot. I mean, he's managing quite a bit here, but even then, it shouldn't be too difficult just to quickly pop back and just, click that button. I would personally argue, but that's just me. Smoking pop, but he needs to sort of triangle in such a way that it doesn't become easily shot, and didn't help out there. We got Pietz out, let's hope with the Puma, getting off a few hits there on the 234-2. And there you go, Angreifen is now making a really big extended push, has a few risks, but at the same time, with a bit of luck, Rzuna might not be able to respond to it fast enough, so he needs to gain some territory there. Up far north, Sniper roams about, looking for Tommies to snipe. And there we go, Rzuna is finally taking up here. But what doctrine will we go for here against Angreifen? What shall his decision be? As for Angreifen, no further sign of tech. I mean, he's just called into Puma's opposite. He's not going to be taking for anything anytime soon. Plus, he's just behind farm resources. So in order here, those two Pumas just represent a size of investment there for Angreifen, for the German army. Gunning down the machine crew, there's a Sampers rush in. Are they going to use maybe if they're a bit fast enough, flank up behind him to deal with it. But there you go, section up to cover the flank. Should be able to flash out the Huns. And far up north, they've finally got next to the northern fuel once more, dislodging the Tommies. There you go, Bren guns up for Rzuna. Bren being an abbreviation of the two places sort of involved with its manufacture. Brianna, which is sort of where the original gun from, which is actually a Czechoslovakian light machine gun, came from. And then you had Enfield, which of course is the British weapons manufacturer. So a little fun fact there. Also another fun fact about the Czechoslovakians, are actually the second largest weapons industry in Europe. Which is one reason why the Germans rather wanted to that nexus of Daneland, so they could get control of it, since it was actually located there. Fun fact, and actually helped out the German weapon industry notably. Pushing up the west side here though, Pack 40 at the ready, 6-pounder on the way there for Rzuna. Pack 40 blasting away. And he actually doesn't even go straight for a Cromwell, he moves straight ahead for a Comet. Now that's a bold and interesting move there by Rzuna, I like it. I like it. But he might actually then want us to take a bit faster and not go for a munitions cache here, but a fuel cache. It could be a mistake here, there could be something else going on there with Rzuna, but I mean, I definitely recommend a fuel cache to support that kind of push. And there you go, Puma straight to the interior of his rounds, Pietz as well then. Oh, no Pietz. Doing quite a bit of damage, and there we go, we got the Pietz moving in, the Pumas can't then linger behind it, forcing it right in front of the incendiary rounds, and the explosion in the rear, which only increases the penetration and thus overall damage. There you go, both Pumas are going to go down, he's not popping smoke, he doesn't have the munitions, and good God, the MG42 took out two Pumas. Angreifen did not anticipate that. I mean, most Allied players that grab an MG42, by the way, are not good with incendiary rounds, and how most German players aren't, so to encounter one that a British player that is, of course, imagine it's a bit of a surprise, and then the Pietz behind it just completely trapped Angreifen. He was not prepared for that. Which is generally why I tend to be a bit more careful in those situations. I guess he was just feeling a little confident, maybe just aggressive, bullish, either way. And he's even losing the Pack 40 here. This is going horribly for Angreifen. Rzuna is just bullying him. And got the Sappers though on retreat, by the looks of it. That's a small victory there for Angreifen. I think lost the Grenadiers in return then. And I was wrecking the Pack 40. A brutal beating here for the 107th Panzer Brigade, though the Tommies have taken some losses as well. Is it taking up? Nope. And Rzuna here is actually pretty close to the Comet. Puma is definitely going to be a poor choice against that. More Mills bombs against the Pioneers. Angreifen definitely weaves about it. And Rzuna calls in fresh sappers to replace the ones snuffed out by the Huns. Still no doctrine here for Rzuna. Angreifen flooding manpower, he could consider fuel cache himself, that wouldn't be a bad choice. He could also consider just flooding the field with Ostrom. I mean, just some extra numbers, it could allow him to exert more map control versus Rzuna a bit better. Big push up the eastern side. Getting ready to chat into Hun lands. And we go, MD42 holding up. He could pop into the armor piercing rounds himself, but he does not. It's a bit worrying when your opponent is so fast using your incendiary armor piercing rounds better than you. It's usually a cause for concern if you're a German player. Did he actually try to pop? No, in this case, just machine gun needs to reload, and there, due to poor health and all that, he actually able to get the white people with the gun. This version of 3 with light machine gun. Nice work there by Angreifen. Rzuna there got punished for getting, I think, overconfident with his MD4. He'd done so well for him, and yeah, he's going to get a wipe there. He should actually be able to steal it, and he should definitely take it back. Rzuna here going for the comment, and hitting the cuff one again. Angreifen is taking up, but he's going to be somewhat delayed. He's going to need some Sturmgeist shots here, I think, to have a chance for us to comment. And there we go, MD42 back in German lands. My god, this thing stinks of tea. What's everything doing with this thing? And is that biscuit crumbs in some magazine feeder? Those assholes.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
MD4 turning up in the field point. We got the section ring in there from several sides. The machine gun needs to retreat. I was just going to be handing it back to the Tommies. And there you go. He ends up calling in the Ostrom just to get himself some larger numbers here. Got a bit lucky. One of them actually had light machine guns with them. Fun fact, during the battle there in Arnhem, or Holland there, the Germans actually committed a large chunk of, well, not really well-trained infantry. They're known as the Schiffsstamm and Luftwaffe Horst units. They're basically just units of spare Luftwaffe personnel and Kriegsmarine personnel. Barely, actually hadn't seen any sort of infantry trained, just have been whatever trained the gun in the respective branches, just given whatever weapons were laying around. In some cases, we're talking like weapons from before World War I and just thrown at the enemy. Like they were just pouring in troops to, fill up the gaps there and just stop the Allies' advance. And that included again these Schiffsstamm and Fliegerhorst. So a little fun fact, not something you usually hear a lot about. Section there, the versus quite several light machine gun wielding grenadiers, very good. Compared to the Rzuna, has not been very good at getting in sections with light machine guns, which is actually the benefit of Angreifen, that gives the grenadiers a bit more firepower. Plus, of course, even the Ostrom then stand a bit more dangerously, though he still needs room to get into bloody cover. But there you go, turning them apart there. Comet shooting, lands a nice hit there. Should add the tank commander for a bit of extra accuracy and such. Still victory points wise, Zuna's got the lead here on Angreifen. And we got Royal Artillery. I'm not entirely sure if that's the best choice here. I mean, I think Vanguard would have been better. Some commanders would be pretty effective versus Angreifen. But that's just me. I mean, obviously the artillery support can be useful, but I mean, he is playing somewhat static with a bunch of support weapons, so it can be used in that sense, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it works out. Mine goes off, almost following at the Ostrom with the light machine gun. Comet needs to fall back. We got the pack there in pursuit. Rzuna also, I think, needs more elements out in the field here. A Vickers would really just be, useful. And I'm surprised he hasn't gone for Vickers Rzuna here versus Angreifen, to be honest. Just, help hold some of these points here, grabs, just doing some of his more aggressive pushes. Gonna need repairs on that Comet soon. Meanwhile, Angreifen's making a very successful push again. Even if they're not that amazing, just the fact he has more infantry, it allows him just to play more aggressive and push, wider frontages. So they do help out there a bit. They won't be strictly pulling assault. They can still cover the flanks and just exert pressure that way. And Rzuna here goes to the Sexton, an interesting choice, but not necessarily one I'd recommend going for so soon. I think a center or something else, armor that can provide more direct pressure initially would be better, rather than going for an artillery piece that soon. That's just me. Now the weight section's on the field, firing its 25-pound gun. First shot lands a bit short. A great hit from the pack forward. He needs to be careful there with the Comet. Would be a big shame here for Rzuna to lose his Comet. But he's really wanting that sniper dead. But pulls back the Comet, apparently deciding he doesn't want it that dead when he risks losing the Comet. Bren machine there dropped. Well, he's got access to some artillery columns now, either concentration barrage or the perimeter Overwatch. Soon they're looking in a much thicker position now as Angreifen calling in the Sturmgeschütz. Sehr good, sehr good. Sexton falling back here, troops healing reinforcing. Need to fix up that Comet again. Securing territory here and there. Sturmgeschütz almost done. And now while he's lost most of the territory, the section, I mean, it just cost him a lot of fuel. And I think he would just been benefited more from more tanks. Now, even a Centaur could help them a lot together as Angreifen now, compared to, a Sexton. And I mean, he's not that dug in a lot of the times. I'm not entirely getting if the Sexton was the best choice. But got a wipe there. Annihilating the Grenadier squad entirely there using the Comet. Very nice work, very nice work. Quite costly there for Angreifen. Was it a machine gun he actually lost there? Actually might have been a machine gun, I think. Might have been. Need to fall back here though. Need to fall back. Sexton needs to begin bombarding again. He needs to just keep it firing. He needs to try and silence as many Germans as possible with it. The longer it just sits about doing nothing, the bigger a waste it becomes here for Rzuna. Oh, he's been pretty risky with the Comet. Need to fall back with it. Get it out of there. Oh, he lost his sappers. I think Rzuna here is trying to manage too much at the same time. And it's causing him to just fight 1,000 small battles, but none of them particularly well, which makes it easy for Angreifen to deal with them. Pretty risky. At least he's getting more troops out. Section needs to retreat. Oh, Sniper retreats up still. He needs to get that back. He needs to get the sappers, the other squad, to fix the Comet. Plus, he needs a little more sappers to, do it faster. Artillery fire there, grabbing the munitions point, but the situation looking a bit grim. Sturmgeschütz moving up here for Angreifen. Victory points wise is also not Angreifen as the lead. We got S-mines down there to catch up any troops trying to retreat before they move through. They're not paying attention. Very nice work there by Angreifen. Very nice work. There we go. Comet machine repairs. Oh dear. Oh. And got a wipe there. Looking pretty grim here for Rzuna. It is not improving his chances that Angreifen is S-mining so well there on the retreat paths. That's definitely one of the sneakier moves you can do. It's just try and sneak up someone on the flank and lay down S-mines on the retreat path. It requires some nerves of steel, but done correctly, it can do stuff like that. You can even wipe full units if you make a big enough S-mine field and get lucky. My apologies there, my apologies. Comet fixing up. And yeah, Rzuna, I think, has an extent slightly thrown this match. By now, I mean, it's not impossible for him to get back. But the Sexton definitely feels like an awkward choice for him. And I feel like the timing for it was wrong. He should have gone for some more armor that could have put more pressure on it directly first. Then he could always, augmented it with a Sexton. But I think he basically just slowed down too fast there in terms of what he was doing, allowing Angreifen to pick up the pace and push back with him. Again, using the Ostrom. In fact, he's taken up further just to encrypt the other Ostrom squad with light machine guns. Plus the fact he didn't upgrade over the section with Bren guns. And I think the mission cast there made some mistakes. He's actually now getting paranoid about Angreifen rushing his base. That's certainly, I think, an even bigger shift than Rzuna's mentality compared to the previous high aggression he's actually exhibiting versus Angreifen. He's just now all of a sudden selling into so much more of a static defensive pace, and I think in part that's also a problem. He just tried, I think, to make two aggressive strategy switches, from hyper aggressive to very defensive, and I think that also caused him, some mistakes to have in there. Again, he might still win this. I mean, a good artillery strike maybe and a good flank, but he just remembers to be aggressive again. Could do the trick. nothing is impossible here. I mean, the game has swung back pretty aggressively so far, so I mean, who knows? But
Enemy threatening a capture point.
like, it definitely feels like there's been some whiplash movements there from Rzuna at times in terms of strategy. Comet there, veterans you want. And the Comet is, of course, pretty good. You definitely shouldn't be trying to slug it out with a Stoop like that. Also, careful, Panzerfausts. Crumpets. Got hit there by Panzerfaust. And he still hasn't upgraded with the tank commander. I'm a bit surprised at that. And it's a pretty useful upgrade. Still, even like doesn't, give the veterancy bonus as well anymore, which was just, kind of nuts. But even then, just like the extra accuracy is pretty good to have. I'm surprised he's not, committing to that. I mean, it's not like it's expensive. Well, it's 25 munitions. That's a grenade. Yet it can have so much more, impact from longer term than a grenade. Angreifen going straight for the Panzer Corps. It is now Angreifen's ascendant, and just like Rzuna, he is pushing for the bigger medium, the premium medium. Of course, in this situation does have some armor to work with it, whereas Rzuna went straight for the Sexton right after that, and so far really hasn't been doing well with it at all. It just feels like it's been a mistake. Big one. I mean, one good at two strike could maybe redeem it, but so far it's not quite landing it.
We've 100 points left.
100 points left here for Rzuna, for the Commonwealth.
Trying to take one of our points.
Whoops.
Our supply line's broken.
So moving that Sexton about. Panther on the way there for Angreifen. For Deutschland.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
I mean, Zuna's getting back on his feet. I mean, he's not got a larger force again here than Angreifen in some ways, but he seems to be slightly mulling about. He just entirely not entirely sure he wants to strike either. We got more S-Mons down from Angreifen. He's already got the sniper there with 37 kills. Rzuna going for another sniper of his own now. Zuna's probably going to need a Firefly to back up his Comet here versus the Panther. So only cheaper than going for another Comet. Plus the Firefly could be a bit helpful as a Stug.
Points remaining.
75, 74. The odds are looking bleaker and bleaker here for Rzuna. Angreifen here launching a counterattack with the Stug Pioneers and some Ostrom backing it up. They will light machine gun. Loading no machine gun for the Stug, which actually does benefit it nicely. And we got the 6-pounder gun shooting, missing spectacularly. And Panzerkampfwagen 5 mobilized here for this 107th Panzer Brigade. Hauptmann Schultz on the way to blow some Tommy and Panzers into bits. 4 kills in the section. He is getting somewhere with it, I guess. 5 kills even. Good God. And nice rushing there. We got a Pack 40 backing it up. They could risk getting a target weak pointed. Panzerfaust as well. Close to losing it. Smoking popped up there by the Stug. And the south section pushed back. Panther. Good to go. Comet falling back. Comet falling back.
No need for panic, but we've only got 50 points left.
49 points left. The odds are pretty bleak now. I would say this is GG. He's barely got anything left. Angreifen has got most of the map now. He's got Panther, Stugs, loads of light machine guns, snipers, machine guns, packs, mines. I mean, he's just dug in. And he's got the road under lock. And there goes Zuna's Renders. GG, game over. Brutal match here. There's some aggressive back and forth here, some aggressive flanking and harassment. Rzuna doing really well in the early to mid game, but the problem was just since the beginning to late game, there was this sort of weird strategic shift which I think really just robbed him of a lot of momentum. And it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would he then go for the Sexton? Like, it doesn't add up at all. Like, he should have gone for Centaur, Cromwell to back up the Comet instead, yet he went for the Saxon. Again, I think he should have gone for Vanguard. Commanders working together could also have been quite effective as Vanguard. I think there's just, like, it felt like he was just trying to do something for the hell of it and just completely fell flat on his face, or there was something else. I don't know. Either way, though, Big mistake there. Angreifen was able to exploit it. That was something else, some good engagement between there, but Angreifen made some mistakes of his own. And there's of course all that small sniper engagement up here, which is just not helpful for Rzuna either. I mean, again, at times it feels like Rzuna just tries to bite off more than inch and then gets punished, whereas Angreifen sort of manages things, I think, a bit more carefully, though at times he does make some mistakes as well here and there. So there you go, either way. I think an interesting fight right here on the road to Kharkov, with a lot of interesting moments, in particular that small sniper meetup. That's just, Benny Hill in World War II. Anyways, thank you all for joining in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. If you want to know a replay of your own, links in the video description. Please send only one. Please provide details. Length, match, rankings are on there. So I know a bit about it. Don't send me 7, please. I know you're wanting to show it all, but it takes time to look for all these. The more I know, so I can actually sort of decide if I want to look for it in the first place. If it's good, the better for me. There's only 24 hours in a day. And now, if you'd like to support the Propagandacast, wishing to keep me doing this, you can donate. There's links to that as well in the video description. Patreon, PayPal, either help me out a ton, so do consider. It would make me quite happy. So thank you all for joining in. You're all a wonderful audience, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.